Let's do it.
Hello, everyone. Today, we are both lucky and privileged to have with us Mr. Mathew Varghese. He will share his thoughts on a very important topic, which is the impact of nationalism on our shared future. Let me just say a few words about him. He recently retired as the Executive Director of the United Nations, and he remains an influential figure in our world today. Why? Because of his insights and opinions, which continue to resonate strongly with senior policymakers. It's a good reason. I understand that even though he's retired, he takes up short assignments, and I believe he's currently leading the review of the strategic plan for the International Trade Center of the United Nations. Just as an introduction, on this platform, I don't ask too many questions, unlike in most other places, but I will ask a question where I think it is useful. Anyway, over to you, Mr. Varghese.
Thank you, Mr. Mathur. In my previous discussion on globalization and national self-interest, I highlighted how divided our world is today. The theme of the World Economic Forum at Davos was rebuilding trust. The theme got prominence because geopolitical tensions in our divided world was hindering much needed global progress to challenges like increasing conflicts, climate change, and artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Today, I will speak of the three challenges, but also briefly speak about how nationalism is gaining ground in US, European Union, Russia, China, and India. I could speak about others as well, but I thought we do have a handful.
You mean at the expense of international cooperation?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's continue.
First, we are witnessing an alarming increase in the number of conflicts. Conflicts are showing an uncompromising approach. They are lasting longer because parties to the conflict want to settle it by force. Wars are also spreading. Very little effort is being made to contain them. On the contrary, actions are being taken that they only serve to add fuel to the flames of war.
Okay.
Secondly, environmental concerns and climate change urgently demand action. The health of our planet calls for a unified global action. Nobody doubts that. Thirdly, and this is a subject once I start opening up, I say a lot, but I'll try to limit it. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence offers tremendous opportunities, but also raises crucial social and ethical issues. Therefore, there is a need for globally unified social and ethical framework. This is something that everybody agrees to.
Okay.
The growth of artificial intelligence, propelled by advancements in algorithms, data availability, here the issue is that how they skim the data. It's not just data availability. And computing infrastructure is showing signs of exponential expansion.
Mm-hmm.
We will soon enter a new era marked by the development of highly capable autonomous artificial intelligence agents.
Okay.
I'm speaking of an emerging next generation of artificial intelligence, meaning more sophisticated systems capable of human-like cognition and decision-making. That's a difference from the current.
But not key decisions, normal decisions, right?
Normal decisions, but that's a big step. So it'd be like automatic cars, automatic automation of factories.
Right.
I mean, and many of the decisions that humans were taking there would be taken by the artificial intelligence.
Right.
So that's the next generation, and we are slowly emerging there. And while the discourse focuses on ethical dimensions of AI, there's a split in priorities. The general discussion is about ethical and social concerns, but there's a more important discussion happening among political leaders that the general people do not know about. The discussion between political leaders and software industries.
Yeah.
They're making an attempt to control the cross-border transfer of artificial intelligence technology, similar to the regulation and confinement of nuclear technology.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I get it.
You get it. The
Yeah.
situation reflects a paradox in global cooperation on artificial intelligence. There is a consensus on addressing social impact, yet the simultaneous race to monopolize, confine advanced artificial intelligence technologies within borders.
Yeah.
This approach risks creating a digital and economic divide between countries.
Okay.
Okay, I can go on, but I want to stop on this because I want to go on the other subject.
Yeah, please, let's move
Sort
on.
of it.
Right. Yeah,
These
let's move on.
These three factors share a common thread. They require shift from unilateral action to multilateral cooperation.
Okay.
However, the current global landscape, characterized by rising nationalism, complicates this shift. Powerful nations, driven by a desire of dominance, often overlook the irony that in an interconnected world, no single nation can win. Okay, the concept of winning has become complex in this context. The nature of global trade and technology means that the nations are so interconnected that unilateral victories are less meaningful. It's a contradiction of terms.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay.
Furthermore, the shift of global power dynamics is not limited to state actors. It also reflects a diffusion of power from traditional state structure to a broader spectrum of influences. Multinational corporations, international organizations, and civil society. These entities now play a significant role in shaping the global order. The current power dynamics are transitioning from a unipolar world to a multipolar one, where emerging powers gain prominence along the established ones.
Okay.
The complex transition involving a wide variety of global actors renders the traditional notion of a single winner increasingly irrelevant. But in nationalism, everybody is looking to win and dominate.
Yeah. That's the point.
That's the point.
Right.
Therefore, the future, therefore, lies not in a single dominance, but in collaborative, cooperative approaches to global challenges.
Okay.
In this context, the resurgence of nationalism, particularly the United States, European Union, China, Russia, India, has significantly impacted global trade and economic growth. And I want to go each one of them.
Okay.
In the United States, the America First policy initiated by President Donald Trump requested a visible shift towards economic nationalism. The policy stand challenged the existing global trading systems and agreements. Biden's approach to trade policy has been cautious, but leaving most of Trump's policies in place. In essence, while Biden administration has made some changes and adopted a different tone compared to the Trump administration, many of the core aspects of economic nationalism in trade policy have continued.
Okay.
The European Union, in response to global challenges and the rise of China, has also seen a shift towards economic nationalism. The shift is exemplified by EU's Green Deal and focus on digital sovereignty, aiming to reduce reliance on non-EU countries for critical technologies and energy. That's a big shift.
Okay.
These efforts will impact global trade dynamics and potentially slow global economic growth. China Made in China 2025 initiative represents its push for technological self-sufficiency.
Yes, definitely.
The approach, part of a broader trend of techno-nationalism. I want to call it techno-nationalism.
Okay.
It might have an impact on China's economic growth, but would lead to disruption in global supply chains. This shift in China's policy reflects a broader trend towards linking technological capabilities to national security and economic prosperity. You see how they are linking things.
Yes.
In Russia, actions like the Ukraine war have led to economic isolation due to Western sanctions. However, Russia's significant energy exports remain a crucial factor in global trade. This shows the complex interplay between national ambition and global economic dependency. And this cannot be said just of Russia. You can also talk about other countries of the same thing. You have national ambition, but there is also the global economic dependency. Let's come to India. India's rising nationalism is unique. Under the Modi government, the focus is on three things: transforming national culture and religious identity, first. Second is maintaining political power. Third, economic self-reliance. This approach may boost domestic manufacturing, we do not know. But what they will certainly do is reduce global trade integration and lead to trade disputes. However, in India's case, what is interesting is this: despite the visible ideological-driven approach, when it comes to hard power aspects like security, economy, and relations with stronger nations, the influence of ideology has been less visible. So the ideology is much more for the domestic consumption.
When push comes to shove, it's more pragmatic.
It is much more pragmatic. And that's many things that people don't realize. You don't read this in the newspapers or in the mainstream news media. The rise of nationalism among key players indicates a significant transformation in the global economic order. However, the rise of nationalism is taking place at a time when global power dynamics are also transitioning to a more multipolar world. This complex, multifaceted transition involves a broad range of global actors, making the notion of a single winner less relevant.
Okay.
Nationalism offers no single winner on a global stage, only shared losses. I like to repeat my last line.
Okay.
Nationalism offers no single winner on the global stage, only shared losses.
Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty powerful. Well, Matthew, what about BRICS? It's sort of a idea of trying to come together, but for what? What is the power behind it? What's the power play here?
The power dynamics between Russia, China, BRICS nations, and the Western world are evolving and complex, marked by a mix of cooperation, competition, and strategic alignment. Cooperation, competition, strategic alignment. I choose my words carefully here. Again, let's go into each of those individual countries, because to understand this, you can't separate this. China and Russia have been collaborating closely with the BRICS framework. Their partnership is evident in their mutual effort to boost the influence of BRICS in global affairs and their stance against what they perceive as confrontational policies of the Western blocs towards Russia and China. This collaboration underscores the shared goal of enhancing the role and influence of BRICS on the international stage. However, the relationship within BRICS, particularly between Russia and China, is not without its complexities.
Right.
There are different perspectives and interests among BRICS nations.
Right.
For instance, Russia views BRICS as a foundation for non-Western multipolar order.
Okay.
China sees it as one of the many tools to advance its interest because China is much more powerful, so it has much more tools.
Right.
So it doesn't look as BRICS as the only tool. India is more interesting. India's role within BRICS also adds another layer of complexity. While Russia and China find themselves at odds with the West, India does not necessarily align with China's stance. India views, listen carefully, India views China as a developed country, trying to influence the narrative of the global South.
Right.
That's a very different way of looking at things.
Okay.
This divergence in perspective within the BRICS underscores the challenges in creating a unified front against the West.
All right.
So you understand the complexities. They want to be unified, but those divergence in views is not allowing them to be unified.
Yeah, I understand. It's hard to get together when you are so far apart, so different culturally, economically. South Africa is at the low end of the spectrum. Their interests must be very different. So BRICS, yes, but not much unity as what you are saying. All right. I think that's been very useful. Mathew, thank you so much. Let's end it here. Hope we'll have you back soon for another few minutes of some very informative and analytical views. Let's say bye to the viewers. I'll be back with another expert or young person soon. Bye, everybody.